doesn't sound super enthused about that.
Okay. Hey, welcome to Snackdown. I'm Justin, and this is...
Andy.
And thanks for returning.
Thank you for returning.
Hope you're all stuffed with your Halloween candy from last week.
Hope you ate all the raisins first, or maybe kind of like parsed them out or spread them out through.
The raisins?
Yeah.
Yuck.
I hope you were all using the toothbrushes that one neighbor gave you. Yeah.
Are you a raisins guy?
No, but people used to give out raisins.
Yeah.
I mean, like, wait, you're not a raisins guy?
No, raisins are gross.
You don't like raisins at all?
No. Why would I want a, lesser grape?
Highly transportable. So say you're, packing up for, the Oregon Trail, right? Here we go. You're at the general store and sundries. What are you getting?
What am I getting?
Yeah,
I'm not getting grapes or raisins, honestly. Well, because grapes wouldn't last but a week.
So grapes wouldn't last but a week, huh?
Yeah.
What would last longer than a week? Raisins.
Potatoes, bacon, salted pork.
Okay, but...
I could nibble on some raisins, I guess.
You sure would. If you were hungry enough.
I feel like that would be the last straw. Like when everyone else has been dead and our wagons not crossed the river correctly, I'd eat a raisin.
So
raisins are one of those things that you unfortunately find in something. Oh, this looks pretty good. What's in this?
No, a fingernail. A fingernail is something you unfortunately find in something. Raisins are not the same, right?
I don't know. Have you ever bitten into a cookie what you think is chocolate chip cookie and it's raisin?
Okay, yes.
That's disappointing.
There would be disappointment there. Yeah, cookie and chocolate, raisin and chocolate is
or
not the same.
Raisins that are in. I'm not a big fan of cinnamon raisin bagels.
Okay, I could be down with that. But I could just eat a handful of raisins. Or have it in trail mix.
It's gross. Just
what about dried cherries?
Grape skins.
Dried cherries?
Nah.
All right, guys. If you have any complaints for the Snackdown or for Snackdown, just go at Justin. Just go nuts.
Yeah.
So speaking, we didn't even plan on doing this.
No.
But speaking of last resort foods,
yeah,
and foods that you
don't want to find in your food,
and we're not talking about fingernails here or Band-Aids.
We're talking about bugs.
Bugs.
Yeah.
So. Let's just say the whole theme of this episode, because I'm not sure if there is one.
I don't know.
Maybe it's kind of food chain.
Yeah.
Because bugs are sometimes eaten by frogs.
So if you all remember, when we did the campfire episode, we saw a little friendly toad hop up and eat a bug. And so now we're going to eat the bugs and
a toad's cousin, a frog.
A frog.
So
the full circle.
So it's really full circle. So in terms of last resort type stuff, and we'll talk about the frogs at some point, but we're going to have bugs first.
Yeah.
I don't know what to pair with bugs for drinks, but I looked up pairing for frog legs, and Chardonnay was one of them.
So you couldn't find the easy, quick article on what wine to pair with bugs?
I couldn't. But I also have never thought in our Snackdown career that I'd have to Google pairing frog legs with a drink.
Especially, you wouldn't think we'd get to the bugs this early on in our show. You would think, after years and years of recording, we're what haven't we tried? I guess we're up to the bugs.
But I don't think that we're going to be, necessarily, disappointed.
No.
And I don't think we're going to play it up, right? I don't think we're one to, play up something that tastes bad or good.
Yeah.
We're not, I don't know. There's not going to be any theatrics. Our responses are going to be our responses.
They're going to be real.
They're going to be real.
I'm a little afraid of getting, a wing stuck in my tooth, but...
Oh, you're just giving it away now. Are there flies in this?
No, we'll find out.
So Justin didn't tell me what type of bugs we're eating.
I was catching them earlier in the apartment.
Yeah. Right next to the two mice that are just sitting there eating the cheese from a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, first, let's talk about this wine.
Okay.
Because this is what we're going to wash the bugs down with.
So we'll just get the wine right out of the way. But it's called Butternut by the B&A Wine Group in Napa, California. And it is considered to be, in terms of the no oak or oakiness for Chardonnays, it leans a little bit towards the oakiness side of things.
There's an oakiness scale on there?
Yeah. And it's medium between crisp and rich and creamy.
Rich and creamy wine?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Aren't they just talking about milk at that point?
Yeah.
Or Nigori, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just had some of that. It's delicious.
Did you? I've been on a sake kick.
Yeah. Now that Wayne knows that I like sake, he's always got sake for me when I go visit him, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, while I'm thinking of it. We've mentioned several times about drinking vodka straight and how it's kind of, neither of us enjoy it. So I was at Wayne's, and he bought a special bottle, took him a while to find, I guess, of Japanese vodka, and it's sake distilled. So it's 100% rice vodka.
Oh.
It was amazing. I just drank that straight. I had 2 glasses.
Cold
Not glasses. Cold. Well, it was kind of like room temperature.
That's not cold. Okay. How cold does it keep?
Well, I was thinking like hot or cold.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't hot.
Like hot vodka?
Yeah.
Oh, I could go for some hot vodka right now.
I guess if you're in the cold, like in Russia, maybe hot vodka is good.
I don't know. We'll have to ask that on a future episode.
But this was very drinkable. It had a very sake type taste, like that rice sweetness, but it was just a little bit more like alcoholic.
I'll have to try that sometime.
Yeah. I think it was called Haku, Haku.
Instead of haiku.
Yeah.
It's very close to haiku. So anyway, yeah, so it's a 2017 Chardonnay. We're just going to pair that. That is certainly not the focus of the episode, but I figured I'd get that out of the way.
Smells good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, she's oaky.
It's going to sound crazy, but maybe it's like the placebo effect, but it does taste a little creamy.
Look, it's not that rich and creamy, okay?
Oh, it's on the other spectrum?
No, it's not. It's like right in the middle between...
It's past the middle tick, though.
Okay. It's good, though. Mm-hmm. This isn't like super cold, which maybe I should throw it back in.
So I was going to make a funny comment about raisin wine and how that'd be gross. But raisin wine is basically grappa, because grappa is made from like grape skins. And that's basically what I'm tasting when I'm eating raisins is like...
Really? That's what you taste when you eat raisins?
Because the whole meaty, juicy center of the grape is gone.
Yeah, but
it's
I
like
think...
shriveled up grape skin.
No.
So should we do a raisins and grappa episode?
Yeah. Right after our oyster and banana and...
Fernet Branca episode.
So.
Okay, so let's get past the raisins and into the bugs.
Let's get into the bugs, into bug country.
Okay, bugs. So the first thing we're going to do is...
Do I have to like close my eyes or something? Do
No,
I do it like
I'll
that?
just show you.
Okay, cool.
I got 2 different flavors of this one. You've probably seen these before. They're like in camp stores and stuff.
I don't think so.
So these are crickets. So we're going to eat some crickets. And these are, full crickets. You can see the eyes and the legs and the bodies and the wings.
They're white though.
Yeah, so I got 2 different flavors.
Uh-huh.
You got your classic chip flavors here. So we've got salt and vinegar crickets and the sour cream and onion.
I think I'm
The other
more
one was like
excited for
bacon
this.
and cheddar, and I was like, that's not gonna... The bacon flavor is gonna be so fake, and so these are the 2 I got.
Which one are you more excited for?
I mean, I love salt and vinegar, and I can't imagine anything coated in that not being good, so I think it's gonna be good.
That's what I'm excited for as well.
And sour cream and onion.
So how did this episode come about? Because I don't think we even really talked about how it came about.
I mean, for one, I just saw bugs in a place, and I was like, that'd be fun. But I've talked a lot. So at work, when we used to have these lunches, we used to talk a lot about like post-apocalyptic surviving and just like the food market in general. And there's a lot of talk about how there's, trillions and trillions of bugs in the world, and they're actually a good source of nutrients and protein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if people could just get over the fact that they're eating a bug, it's a good food source, but
I agree.
it's still a bug.
No,
I wanted to actually know your thoughts since you were in the, not necessarily the bug world, but the environmental world.
Honestly, so in the environmental world, I focused on bugs.
Okay. So you were kind of familiar with it.
Kind of familiar with it. I think it's a great source of protein. And,
yeah. Honestly, like if the whole country grew up eating bugs, you wouldn't think it was weird. But to have a switch into these are gross bugs and now we're going to try to eat bugs, it's hard to get past that mental...
It would probably take a full generation to adopt and a full 2 generations to embrace.
Yeah. It's like, you taking a feral dog and then making it house trained. It takes like 2 generations.
I don't know about that.
Honestly, I think one of the things that gets people is because you're looking at a bug, whereas when you're eating meat or something like that, you're only eating a part of it. Mm-hmm. So you're not eating what looks like a cow. You're eating a chunk of meat.
Right. Which has already been like heavily processed. And,
Yeah. So it doesn't look like what you're eating. But if you're eating a bug, it's small enough that you're looking at the legs and the face. So I think it's weirder to get over in your mind. So maybe people will be more
even
willing...
with like shrimp, right? Like even with like shrimp, it's like processed. Even if you don't devein it or anything, the face is still coming off typically, right? Yeah. I mean, maybe if you just took off like the legs and the head or whatever, and all you had was kind of like the thorax and abdomen, maybe people would just be able to pop that in their mouth.
Like if you maybe people would be more willing to eat like a bug milkshake.
Ugh. Come on, don't say stuff like that.
Or like, like if they were deep fried and you couldn't really tell what you were eating, and you're like, oh, that's pretty good. What's in it? Bugs.
Like battered and deep fried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like looking
see
at
that.
it, like even looking at this myself, like I know it's probably going to be decent. It's still really weird. Like eating a whole cricket.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it. All right. Let's open both of them.
Yeah.
They can't be that bad.
I will admit I have had crickets before, but I had them like they were like roasted crickets, like roasted and seasoned, and they were fresh. I mean, I think freshness has a big impact too.
It's true.
Like these don't seem super. I mean, even if these are like super vacuum sealed, which they don't seem to be.
And they're best by like 2 years from now. So, But the ingredients, it's just crickets, vinegar, and salt.
And like, let's be clear, like the packaging on this is very novelty.
That's what I mean. This isn't like if you were going to live off crickets, this is not the form you would be eating it.
No,
because this is very like jokes on you. You're going to eat a cricket.
Yeah. So you're looking at the front of it, and it's like crickets, like crick, and then dash ets, and then on the back it's like protein. Like you're looking at like nutrient sources. Calories are 4.3 calories for this entire thing. Like you would die, you know, if you were just kind of like, let me get my crickets out.
Mm-hmm. You know how many crickets you have to eat to get your calorie?
Yeah. Well, protein is 0.67 grams. It's not a lot of protein.
No, but there's only a couple. Like you've had a meal of crickets. Because there's a chart actually. So at the store that I went to, there's a whole bug section, and it's like pro bug, kind of like it has charts showing you like how much bugs are better than like the meat industry and all that stuff. Let me see if I can
Wait,
find
at the
this.
store that you got them from?
Yeah. So in a 200 calorie serving, which would be a lot of crickets now that we've read that.
Yeah, but these things could have been like processed to a level that their calories are. Yeah.
There's more protein in a cricket than if you're eating 200 calories of fish or beef.
Okay.
Less fat also. Not as much omega-3 as a fish, but more so than beef. And they're high in fiber.
I could definitely tell the fiber, right? You're
So
talking
like
about their exoskeleton?
in a 200 calorie serving, there's 7.3 grams of fiber and 0 in beef and salmon.
Do you need that much fiber, though?
I don't know. There's a lot of fiber.
Look, I feel like if you're eating post-apocalyptically, if that's a word, you're probably going to be getting a good fiber source.
Yeah.
You'd be eating the grass on the ground,
Yeah.
for God's sakes. You know what I mean? So I think your fiber situation would
But
be fine.
yeah, so more protein, less fat, high omega-3, and fiber.
How much protein is in 200?
31 grams.
Holy crap. That's a lot.
Yeah.
You could get swole off a cricket.
Can you imagine like munching on a bag of crickets at the gym?
Yeah, you're like, abs are made in the insect.
You've got like bits of bug in your teeth as you're talking to people.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try cricket.
You're like, it's leg day. And then you're just like eating just like cricket legs.
Okay, I'm going to try one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
1, 2, 3.
It's like,
Tastes like a sunflower seed, kind of.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, it tastes like something I've had before.
Not in terms of, well, yeah, in terms of flavor a little bit. It's like,
These
got
are
like
really
a little,
strong in the salt and vinegar. You want to
It's
try
got like
one?
a little seediness to it.
Yeah, it gets that like granular leftovers in your teeth like sunflower seeds do. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a big one. This is a fat cricket.
I bet these would taste way better if they were just cooked, though. You know, like, because these are like freeze-dried, right?
Stare into its eyes right before you eat it.
No.
It's kind of disturbing. This one looks happy.
These ones are better.
Mm-hmm. The salt and vinegar ones are better.
Yeah. But, like, you know.
Still very weirded out, though.
Why?
I think I looked in the eyes of that one too long.
Pretty good. Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
These probably weigh like an eighth or a tenth if I'm just ballparking of like what they would be like alive. So that's probably where all the protein's going. That's probably where all their juices and everything. Like, I mean, there's protein in those juices.
So eating, not a live bug, but like a juicy, fresh bug, that to me sounds not
Less
good.
appealing?
Very less appealing.
Less appealing, but way more nutrient dense.
But yeah, the thought of like eating a fresh bug with like the squish of the insides and
Not as appealing.
I don't know if I could.
Well, like we eat oyster. You know what I mean? Like we eat like true bottom feeders, and we eat everything from them raw a lot of times.
Yep.
We eat clams. You know, not as often raw, but we eat a lot of things like whole.
A lot of things we eat. So we have no problem eating a lot of things raw from the sea, like fish, even like shrimp, all that kind of stuff.
Gumbo shrimp. I thought you were just gonna like list off like different types.
It's just
of shrimp.
funny because like also in shrimp, they're like, "What's that line?" Oh, that's just like the poop vein.
Well, they
or
call it the
whatever.
vein.
Yeah.
You know, vein is like such a euphemism for like its digestive tract.
Yeah.
You know? Oh yeah, you can eat that. You know, some people just get rid of it, but it's like, no, that's where the poop goes out. But like here, like we're technically eating everything, but like it's so light, like what's left of it. Honestly.
It's like lighter than a kernel, like a popcorn piece of popcorn.
it is.
Yeah. Salt and vinegar are definitely better,
Yeah.
but they're much more flavored. So, like, it really hides the cricket.
There's not a lot of flavor, though.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
It's basically like, if it wasn't flavored, it just tastes like a sunflower seed almost, like, with no flavor, no salt.
You want to get into the next one?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So this is a tube. This is crickets too, actually. These are just like like baby crickets or cut up crickets.
Don't say baby, because then I don't want it. You know what I mean?
It's like veal.
Yeah.
So this tube, I got mango habanero.
Nice.
So it might be a little hot.
That's fine.
So the flavors of these were so bizarre. This is like a more normal flavor for these tube of crickets. I took a picture of all the flavors. There was like Italian lasagna was one. Cotton candy.
Big no.
Orange creamsicle crickets. They had Indian curry and like sun-dried tomato, lemon meringue crickets. There wasn't like a lot of normal vials of cricket. So I was like, mango habanero, that's pretty cool. And we had a mango habanero kombucha once on the show, so we'll compare the crickets to the kombucha.
And we had mango habanero barbecue sauce.
Oh yeah, we're really living in the mango habanero.
You're opening it very scientifically. And almost like it's a bomb. Oh, man.
It was me tearing off a wing. No.
Yeah. So this has a way better, like,
this is 10 grams of cricket. It's good. It says it's good for the planet and good for you. That's what it says.
Nice.
So yeah, these are like much smaller crickets.
And they were in a vial. So does it say what type of crickets it is?
No, but they look different. And these are like legless.
Did you say Legolas?
I was waiting for it. I knew you were going to say it.
Thanks. How'd you know I was going to say Legolas? You just know that I can't leave a pawn alone, huh?
Yeah.
They kind of look maggoty, you know?
A little bit.
Bottoms up, my dude. These are more boring than the last ones. Spicy, though.
Really?
They're a little spicy.
I'm eating 3 at the same time.
These are all like super freeze-dried. Or baked or something. I don't know.
Where do you think you would buy
Maybe not freeze-dried,
like,
but
where's the bug
definitely
place?
dehydrated. Huh?
So, here's my thing.
Okay.
All these places are like, eat bugs.
And then
Not
you're
all
like,
these
where?
places.
Yeah.
But it's a known fact, at least if you look into it, that eating bugs is good for the environment, is a healthy choice for protein and nutrients. But you can't just go buy bugs, you know what I mean?
Are you talking about live bugs or dead bugs?
I'm talking about if I was going to switch over to bugs, like, or start eating bugs every once in a while. You know what I mean? Like, where would I buy a meal of bugs? Would I have to catch them myself? Would I become a spider?
You can buy bugs online. Like,
But would they come freeze-dried?
that I don't know. Here, let's see. So I think maybe these are just roasted.
Yeah, it says roasted on the bottle. Roasted cricket snacks.
Edible insects are available on Etsy.
They're pretty good, though. You know what's going to... There was like a piece of bug on my table. And I picked it up to eat it, and then I'm like...
Oh, God, that was a ladybug.
like, is this a bug from today, or...
Yeah, great.
But there shouldn't be a cricket in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, since you said that pumpkin seed, or sunflower seeds, I mean, that's just kind of what they taste like.
I think you're on, though, with pumpkin seeds a little bit, too.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of a combination. And, yeah, they have that kind of almost like mealiness kind of in the back of your mouth. Kind of like right where your, like, molars are, between your molars and tongue.
You kind of get a little, like, residue.
Rinse it.
Yeah, you need to rinse with the wine.
Dude,
We're so high class.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. Would you like some Chardonnay with your bugs? Yes, of course. Yes, naturally. This is good.
Yeah. Okay, you ready for something else?
Sure.
This is going to be a good one.
Is it? How many bugs do we have?
That's a couple. So...
Oh, man.
So this is worms? Larva?
Larva.
Yeah.
They could be for like a beetle or, they could be for a lot of things.
Yeah, so this is, we're eating larvae. They kind of look maggotish.
Yeah, the same thing.
These are cheddar cheese. There was original.
What's original?
There was, I don't know.
Does original mean unflavored or like the original?
And I was like looking at the
recipe?
ingredients and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'll just go with the cheddar cheese. Wouldn't it be funny if we hit an age where, there's like the keto diet and like all these different diets. If you were on like a bug-only diet, like gluten-free.
I mean, the bug diet's paleo, It's maybe even keto. I don't really know much about keto.
Keto is low carb.
Yeah, these are low carb.
Yeah. Oh man, those look gross.
So yeah, larva can be like flies. It can be
it's just
beetles.
like
it can be. It's just a nymph.
Instead of an egg, it's a larva.
Well,
no, it's a baby.
It's a baby
before it turns into something else.
Before it turns into an adult.
Okay.
So bugs are always going to have 6 legs. So if you look at it, it's still true to its form of having 6 legs.
I didn't know that about bugs.
Mm-hmm. They always have 6 legs.
So the rest of this thing is just dragging behind it?
Yep. 3.
Well,
2.
look at it. Look in the light. Like they're almost look completely empty almost.
Yeah.
Other than like
we're basically eating their skeleton.
Other than like a little vein.
Yeah.
The vein.
Yeah, the vein.
Yeah.
It is the vein. Yeah, I see that. Isn't that yummy? Bottoms up for the vein. Ready?
Right.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Like
It's fine.
it's just basically we're just eating like chitin. Am I right? I'm just dropping bug words on you.
If people could just get past, because it's really just the look of it that's gross. Nothing about eating it has been gross, you know? It was weird to have a whole handful of larvae and chuck it in my mouth.
Wait, did you just eat a whole handful of that?
I don't know, a huge handful, but maybe like 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, but it's definitely got a good like pumpkin. Yeah, it's more pumpkin-y almost. Pumpkin seeds.
like a
At least
pumpkin
this
seed.
one.
Very pumpkin
I would
seed.
say the first cricket was a little more sunflower seed, but this is like a really pumpkin taste
Like
to it.
very close. Like not like similar. Like
Yeah, very close.
if I was closing my eyes, don't think I'd be able to tell the difference between a cheddar pumpkin seed and a cheddar bug.
So if you ground up both of them and put them side by side, indistinguishable. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
not in look, but like, well, maybe in look.
So we've got one more thing. This is kind of a dessert. It might take some time to eat this, so maybe we'll come back from break.
What is it?
So this is a lollipop.
Oh, come on. No. I'm not a fan of that. What is it?
So this is a scorpion. It's a full scorpion.
It's so
I got strawberry and lime.
Oh, man. Are we going lick for lick or what?
I don't know.
How do you even consume that?
This is the one that I'm kind of worried about because it's got the claws and the stinger and everything.
What's that one got? The other
It's a scorpion, but this one's bigger.
I heard it was the smaller the scorpion, the worse the poison.
Oh yeah,
You know, that's
look
kind
at
of,
it.
I don't know. That's like a southern old wives' tale. Yeah, it doesn't have the stinger, does it? No, it can't have the stinger.
It looks like it though at the bottom. I guess it might be cut off.
They would not ship that and be like, haha. Like, what company would like put their name on it and just, yeah.
I mean, we could crack these, or we could just lick them while we roast our frog.
Yeah. Look at how many legs a scorpion has, including the chompers.
8?
Yeah.
It's not a bug.
It's not a bug.
I failed.
But you learned, right?
So what is a scorpion?
Probably an arachnid of some sort.
Isn't bug like not a real term anyways? Wouldn't it be insect?
So insect is the real name for all bugs. But then there's an order called Hemiptera, which would be like your leaf-footed bugs and kind of other bugs that also, they kind of have like, it's called hemi, right? Like half. And then Ptrea always means like flying. So they've got wings that like are kind of looking like classical wings halfway up, and then they turn into like more like hard shells. But most bugs are going to have 4 wings and then 6 legs.
So why did you get out of the bug world?
Because that bug world doesn't pay.
No.
And I was
But maybe
bad
now
at
it is that
No.
it's food.
No, big time not.
Yeah.
It doesn't pay. It's not a consistent job.
Yeah,
And
it's like
let me just put it this way. I was
contract work,
probably
right?
bad at it, you know?
you seem to know. Years removed.
Yeah.
So on the ingredients of this, it says scorpion, but it gives you like the family name.
and
Same with like the
species.
crickets too, I think.
Yeah. Does yours have the same family name?
Paroctonus messinensis. I don't know how to say it.
Messensis. Paroctonus messensis. And then like some Harry Potter spell pops
It
up.
says not recommended for people with shellfish allergies, but I thought it said selfish allergies. What is that?
Yeah. Yeah, is it a real... Yeah, I guess, like, people might suspect that my egg intolerance is, like, a selfish allergy. You'd be like, you're not having, like, the 1,000-year egg? Well, good luck playing that up for the rest of the Snackdown.
Okay, so we'll take a break. We'll cook up our next appetit, our next meal.
You're just gonna...
I don't know.
Justin's like a half a glass of Chardonnay and just really just playing up the fancy on that.
Yeah. We'll should I try to throw on some French music, like some cafe music? Mm-hmm. So we'll sip our Chardonnay, lick our scorpion.
Sip our Chardonnay, lick our scorpion. Good night, folks. That's it. That's it. We can't take any more.
We'll sip our Chardonnay, lick our scorpion lollipops, and cook up some frog legs. And we'll be back.
Sounds like a good life to me.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you in a bit.
All right, bye.
Bye. We're back.
We are very back, and we're here with a plate of frog legs. So have you ever had frog legs before?
No.
I've had they usually have like little tiny frog legs sometimes at some buffets. And then I think I've had frog legs from a dim sum restaurant before. Dim sum. But man, these are not what I remember of frog legs.
They look good.
They are giant. We were commenting about how strong the legs look.
Actually, if I'm going to make a plug for anyone to check out our socials, this is the time.
These are very swole frog legs.
Yeah, they're beefy boys. They're doing steroids for sure. So kind of a good question would be like, who eats frogs?
Like animals or countries?
No, countries.
Okay. Because my dog's definitely eating a frog.
What kind of dog do you have?
Well, it was a Dalmatian. It was like one gulp. I'm like, no, a frog.
Some of them are poisonous, you know?
Yeah.
So, what the heck? I had a list, and it included like Spain, Greece, but this is kind of telling you a little bit about China, especially big time Vietnam, and Japan. And people eat live frogs.
Well, that's weird.
Served up and filleted with their hearts still beating. Like that's kind of like...
That's gross.
Yeah, that is gross. But France, I mean, for sure France.
But
right?
France, now we talked about this a little bit off the pod. Didn't they ban eating frogs?
They banned eating frogs from France, but they can import them. But I think they kind of fell out of popularity kind of since that ban.
Yeah. So I mentioned to my boss that we were eating frogs, and he said he doesn't just because he thinks it's kind of gross just to think about, but also that frogs are endangered. I didn't really know that, so I kind of looked it up. And it's true. I don't know if it's like every country, but just in general, frogs are kind of disappearing. So then I was like, oh, I kind of feel bad about eating them. But it was already in the bag, so...
Don't feel that bad. Let's do it, man.
But yeah, let's eat some frogs.
Because they're warm. They're fine. Is yours mealy?
No, mine tastes very similar. I mean, it's very cliche, but it tastes similar to chicken. But it's a little more rubbery. Oh, look, it's the vein. That's actually a vein, though.
That's a real vein, not... Yeah, this is pretty good. So, like, when... I don't have a lot of history cooking frogs, except for today. But, like, in terms of, like, doneness, Justin was like, watching me frying them up, or sauteing them up, and he was like, hey, how do you know if they're done? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, like...
They're falling off the bone, so...
I mean, in your standard meats, chicken, pork, beef, there's, like, a specific temperature that you should get to, or a color. Who knows with frog. It tastes good, though. They seem dumb.
They seem dumb?
They seem done. So, those bugs getting to me.
Yeah.
Drunk on insects.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very just like chickeny. I don't know if that's because they're very close to
It's a little gamier though, I would say.
They're a little more muscly than chicken.
Yeah.
Because they jump a lot.
Yeah. But like not as like dense of fiber.
Yeah.
But it's good.
You're
like dude, you're going back for seconds?
Yeah. These have to be huge frogs.
They were pretty big frogs.
Like,
they looked like it.
Like I can't imagine the rest of it. So Andy, you were going to kind of talk about picking these up.
The acquirement, yeah. So I called Wegmans, and because I thought Wegmans had kind of more exotic meats, and they go, no, just call them like an Asian market. And so I called up Asia Market, and they did have some. Yep. And Asia Market's where you got all of the food for episode 4, and probably where Wayne got I think he shops there.
Yeah, he does. He shops
regularly for at least for Asian.
And he told me specifically that they would have frog legs there too.
So there were live frogs there as well. I was in the frozen section. I'm not gonna take out for this podcast. I'm not gonna take out a live frog and then like skin it and then you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
we're not to the murder stage yet. Not murder, but we're not killing our food for the podcast yet.
Not yet. We're not gonna get there.
No, we're not gonna get to that.
I'm
point.
like, not yet. One day, child. Yeah. So we get in there, or I get in there, and there's we're used to like Western and North American fish, right? You get into that market, it's just like tons of fish from all over that look so foreign to me. It's like, it's crazy. It's cool. Just like seeing like how diverse, not just fish, but specifically like edible fish are. I'm just so like, not closed-minded, but naive, I guess. Just about like everything you can eat. And then there was like an eel or like a mud jumper or something. Something looked like a snake and it was like sticking its head out.
Yeah.
And it was crazy looking. There was like a bunch of them.
You didn't want to grab that while you were there?
No, of course not. Of course not. I think it was eel.
Yeah, I think they do have eel there. Someone told me that. So
crazy. And then there was a blue crab, or there was a bunch of blue crabs, like live blue crabs. And one of them was like staring me down and like started snapping when I was like still 4 feet away. It was like, buddy, you're not going to get me. But yeah, it was good. They had them in the frozen section. But they were, like you were saying, they were a lot bigger than we thought that they were going to be.
Yeah, these were...
There were no other options. I looked. I'm like, is this like a chicken or like a small game bird or something like that. It was like, no, that's
See, the frog legs that I've had are like 2 or 3 inches.
Total.
You know, like, yeah, just total, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like very little, like bite size almost. Those are like small chicken
thighs.
Like, yeah, small chicken thighs. Good though. I'm surprised.
It's fine.
What's wrong about it? Too gamey?
I'm like not the biggest chicken person. Just as like straight chicken or like chicken breast. I don't know why. I do like chicken thighs, honestly, because they're pretty forgiving on the grill. But I don't know. I don't know what it is about chicken. I'll take like fish any day over chicken.
But there's something about fish that I just do not like. I've tried to get into fish.
Saltwater and freshwater?
So I like actually some freshwater fish. I don't know if it's because I catch them and that just tastes better because I did the work. But like I like bass. And
bass are like the muddiest freshwater fish.
Have you ever had bullhead?
No.
It's like catfish, basically. When I was out in Iowa visiting my grandma, there's a bullhead restaurant. Their specialty's like bullhead, and it's really good.
And you like that? It's muddy.
But
you like muddy fish.
So I had some swordfish when I was in Hawaii. That was good. But it also could be the setting because I was like right on the beach. There's just something about fish that I just don't like the flavor. But I like everything else in the ocean. Like I'm a huge fan of, I'll eat squid and octopus and clams and oysters and shrimp and lobster and crab and
scallops.
Like pretty much anything else. But fish, I'm just like, ugh.
That's crazy.
And fish are good for you.
They're really good for you.
Yeah. They have a lot of the omega-3. Isn't that what it is? Yeah. So during the break, I opened up a scorpion lollipop. I licked on it for about 10, 15 minutes, and I realized I just can't stand lollipops, and I didn't want to wait that long to get to the scorpion. So I used my hammer and smashed it up a little bit.
Your ice hammer.
Yeah.
Have we talked about your ice hammer?
I don't know.
So Justin has a freezer that's not super good at freezing. It things thaw and then they freeze up again. So if you buy a bag of ice, it'll just be clumpy, right? Because it'll have like a little freeze thaw to it. So Justin does what? What do you do?
I just keep a hammer on top of my fridge. So I just kind of smash up the ice as I need it.
And it looks, it's kind of like closer to the front door. It looks like a personal defense weapon. You know what I mean?
When Katie was here, she was trying to get some ice, and Annie's like, use the ice hammer. And she's like, that's what that's there for?
It was eye-opening.
But why were we on this? Oh, yeah. So I used my ice hammer to crush up my scorpion lollipop. And it was hard to get to the bits. And I kind of scraped some out with my teeth. And it had a similar flavor as the other bugs. But it was more meaty.
Was it good?
Not as good as the other ones. But it was hard because I only had little bits of it. In the lollipop form, it's so covered in lollipop that I'm only getting a little bit at a time if I want just scorpion. Unless we talked, I licked it until there was nothing left but scorpion, which would be kind of gross because you'd be licking the scorpion. You'd be licking the sugar off the scorpion. I don't know if anyone does that.
Not anyone I know.
I possibly could soak it.
Soak what?
Soak the lollipop.
And then you just have a rehydrated scorpion?
Yeah.
Hey, remember when you said that you don't like raisins?
Yeah.
And now you're thinking of rehydrating a scorpion and then eating it.
I really wish that I could have gotten the scorpion just straight, but it only comes in lollipop form.
At that store?
At that store, yeah.
Maybe we'll revisit this.
Yeah, maybe we'll get real scorpions.
And then maybe get fresh crickets and then saute them.
Yeah, that would sound good.
Grill them up. Nice.
So last week was Halloween. Did you have a party? Did you take the kids anywhere?
We just kind of did a country block and just visited the in-laws and the in-laws and then the in-laws. So that was pretty much it.
Cool.
And by the time that's all done, I mean the kids are still pretty young, so it was they were melting.
Yeah.
They were melting hard. So cool. Yeah, but it was fun. What about you?
I went to a big Halloween party.
Did you go as the same guy?
Yeah. So I went to a party at, well, shout out Scott, who I work with.
You went to Canada?
No, different Scott.
Oh, okay.
So he had a party and I went as Charlie from It's Always Sunny. And
in his night outfit?
Yeah, so I was a little worried because I'm okay, there's a bunch of people I don't know, and I'm going to be wearing long underwear. So if people don't get it, it's just going to be kind of weird.
Did people get it?
So I walked down the stairs and someone's like, baseball player?
Who gets a baseball player from that? That's nuts. So
throughout the night, no one really said anything, and I was like, this is just kind of awkward. But then Scott asked someone, they're like, yeah, he's Charlie from It's Always Sunny. I'm like, okay, good, at least someone knew. A couple people said something, but then they're like, say something funny. I'm like, I don't know. They're like, you wore the costume. It's your fault.
So they didn't say anything the entire night, and then they charged you with saying something?
Yeah, like
funny?
once like it was out in the open that I was that, then they were like, say something Charlie would say.
They're like, cosplay Charlie
Yeah,
now.
be
You're
funny.
like, no, this is just
Like,
a
be
Halloween
funny.
costume.
You wore it. You gotta live up to it.
What were they going as?
There's a lot of cool costumes there, actually. There was like a guy and his girlfriend. He was Bob Ross, and she was the Pretty Little Tree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is kind of cool. And then there was like a guy that was like Operation, like the game, kind of. And then his girlfriend was like a nurse.
Wow.
And then there was like a guy in a cat costume, kind of. But it was fun. I lost 2 drinking games.
What games?
I don't know the name of it. So like there's a circle of cups with your drink in it, and you throw a ping pong ball at it. And if it goes in your drink, you drink your drink. If it goes into the middle drink, which is like a suicide, everyone quickly drinks their drink, and then you flip your cup, and the last person that doesn't flip their cup has to drink the middle drink, which is like 4 things mixed together, like absinthe and like
Just like
3
weird.
other things. Yeah.
Have you ever had absinthe? Like just straight up?
Yes. It's very like minty, isn't it?
Kind of like licorice.
Licorice. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Licorice. Yeah.
I don't really like it. I don't like black licorice.
I don't like black licorice either.
Oh,
so.
thank God.
Licorice episode.
Yeah, I
No.
know. I thought we were going to have to do like an Easter thing, and we would have had like
Easter. Licorice is Easter?
yeah. Licorice
like-
jelly beans?
I think pastels when I think Easter. So like
Yeah,
Jordan
black-
Almonds.
Black jelly beans.
Black jelly beans. So
Are you
dark.
serious? Everyone does black jelly beans. Not
On
all
Easter?
black. Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
When do you think of licorice being associated with?
Like nursing homes.
Oh my God.
Not like I
You don't associate.
I don't
it with
associate licorice
a
with any
holiday or a
holiday,
time of the
no.
year. Please don't take this out of the episode, because this is another thing for people to write in and just be like,
Yeah.
Justin, you're batshit crazy.
Me?
Yeah, black
Black
licorice.
licorice on Easter?
Yes.
It's weird.
I'm gonna have this conversation when I go home tonight, and you will get some verbal abuse at some point.
Maybe it's just like, did you start doing that when you got married, or have you done that your whole life?
I never like did it as a thing. It would just, you get a bunch of jelly beans, and it would always show up in all the jelly beans. There was always a black licorice in there.
But that's not like specific. I thought you were saying black
Like
licorice
just a
is
thing of
specific
just
to
black
Easter.
jelly beans. Oh, I mean, but that's like what I think of, like
Okay.
in terms of like a candy.
Like those specifically, the ones that you don't like.
Yeah.
So Easter really leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
No. That's not the first thing I think
It's like
of.
Easter.
The
black
first,
licorice.
okay.
Ugh.
The first thing I think of with Easter is not black licorice jelly beans, but when I think of black licorice, the first thing I think about is black licorice jelly beans at Easter, if that
time.
makes sense.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not like, oh, Easter, yeah, Easter's yucky.
Easter leaves a bad
It's full of eggs, though, so kind of have to be
That's
careful
true.
on Easter. Yeah.
Easter.
So we always do this. What was your favorite out of all the things that you had today?
I really liked the salt and vinegar crickets.
That was your favorite?
Yeah, either that or the mango habanero.
Okay.
I did like the frog legs, actually, though. They were better than I thought.
Yeah.
But just as an experience standpoint, like I've never eaten insects before, and they were better than I thought.
Yeah.
They were just very much like pumpkin seeds.
Yeah. So I'll be curious to see when we like kind of grill or bake or roast them and kind of see how they go. We could probably honestly roast them like pumpkin seeds.
Mm-hmm. So you know how people have like beehives and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to like make something that draws crickets and stuff so that you can make your own like cricket farm?
Yeah. I'm not sure if the other tenants in your apartment would probably appreciate that.
I'm just thinking from a standpoint of like, okay, if we're gonna eat food, like crickets as food,
Yeah.
for environmental purposes or whatever,
There's a way to
catching a
raise-
single cricket at a time would
No,
be.
you would buy crickets.
And then they
Just like keeping bees.
Keeping
like
bees.
you don't like catch a bee and then be like, all right, let's go.
just
You,
100
like,
more
buy-
bees.
Yeah,
and I'll have
right.
my hive.
Right. You need like the queen. There's like a lot that goes into it. I mean, I think the same would be like you probably buy crickets online or like in a store, and then you kind of have your own little
Cricket farm?
Cricket farm.
That's pretty cool. The difference is the beehive, the bees make the honey for you. You're not eating the bees. So as a cricket farmer, you're eating your...
It's a little more questionable.
Yeah.
But you can't. I mean, you can't survive off of honey.
And you can't survive off crickets probably. Alone. Crickets alone.
Not alone, but
You'd have to eat a lot of crickets.
and then some grass. And I think that's pretty much it. Honestly, it's a pretty short and narrow food pyramid, which isn't even a thing anymore.
Crickets, grass, and water.
Crickets, grass, water, and then orange juice, and I think you're good.
Ugh.
Anyway, probably my favorite was if I were to grab anything in this little what's the
Treat dish.
treat dish? Mausoleum. If I were to grab anything from this, or how about a mass grave?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a mass grave.
It
They're
does.
all
There's
just kind of
lots of-
dumped there.
Just like a pile of dead things.
If I were to willingly grab anything from that mass grave, I would probably do the mealworms. or
Yeah,
the
I actually
larva.
forgot about that until I was looking in there. The
Yeah.
larva. Those were pretty good.
Yeah, I think the flavor was there, and in terms of like texture, they were pretty straightforward.
Yeah, there wasn't any like
Legs.
or wings,
Wings.
which I knew they would be kind of like getting stuck in your mouth. The
Yeah.
larvae were pretty. They
Yeah.
went down smooth.
Yeah. So I'd probably like those more. Overall, good episode. And honestly, I hope people don't look at the title of this. I hope we make like a really nice, modest title for this. Because I don't want people being like, wacky cricket and blah, blah episode. Because it wasn't. You know what I mean?
No.
Like and I don't think we played anything up or,
No, they were
it was just relatively
decent.
good. Yeah.
and something to think about because the thought of it may be gross, but if you actually think about it from a food standpoint, it's not that gross. Save the world, eat a cricket.
Is it like Heroes?
Yeah,
Save the cheerleader.
save the world.
What do you think Hayden Panettiere is doing now? She's still crying over whales or something? Do you remember that?
No, props for remembering the name though.
She was in Nashville as well.
Oh,
And she was, she's very pretty, right? Not your type? Okay, that's fine.
she's okay.
Okay, cool.
I think I was more distracted by her like mediocre acting.
Wow, Justin. Hayden, if you're listening, huge fan. And disregard what Justin says. And if you ever want to be on the pod, get in line. I mean, come on, there's a lot of people that want to get on the pod. Okay.
Yeah, but if you want your career to take a bump,
Then hop on the pod.
a good bump,
Oh, a good bump. Okay.
yeah,
Nice.
then
We're international.
yeah,
Well, let's lead it out then.
yeah.
But sincerely, if you do want to see any of these, check out the socials, which Justin is just about to talk about.
Yeah.
Because we'll have some good pictures.
Yeah, some bugs, some frogs, and
And some frogs.
and the wine paired very well, I think.
Thank you.
Does your stomach feel a little weird though?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Yeah. In what sense?
a little upset.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
upset. I think our body's probably just like, we're not used to processing this kind of protein.
Like, what is this stuff?
You know when like someone who's like a vegetarian renounces their vegetarianism?
It goes back to meat. It's hard.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh gosh, like
Yeah.
they feel awful.
That's why if you're a long-term vegetarian, you usually stay it. Because when
Yeah.
you try to go back, it doesn't treat your stomach very well, and you're like, never mind. Why
Yep.
did I do this?
So it's kind of like we just did that, except for we had protein that we've never had before.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Okay. Thanks for listening today. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find this episode and others like it on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a bunch of other places. And you can go to our website at www.snackdownpod.com.
Snackdown. 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 Like that?
No.
No? Like a frog.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. Is that a bug?
Sure. Okay.
Snack you later. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for hanging with us.
Bye.
This is what I said
A
earlier.
nutritionist bug.
Yeah. The bug's like, you should eat more fiber.
He's
And
got
I'm
like a little pointer stick.
yeah. I'm like, how about you for fiber?